We're in New Albany, Indiana. Southern Steam Locomotive 4501 is approaching off of the Kentucky and Indiana Terminal Railway Bridge. There's the interlocking tower for this area of the B&O and the mowing on it comes off of the bridge. We're swinging around the curve now onto the B&O Railroad's trackage. Another photographer here to get this out. This is the B&O Railroad Station in New Albany, Indiana. We're on the curve. They'll go on the curve, switch over onto the Southern. It goes underneath the K&I Bridge and heads west to Huntingburg. Notice the crowd that has turned out for the train today. We are now on the curve past the B&O station in New Albany, loading up the passengers. There's the block signal is turned to red to protect this train. And as you can see, there's people all around to get photographs and to see what's going on today. There's the drivers on the locomotive, the coal-fired steam locomotive. We've left New Albany and we're headed to Huntingburg, and we're going across the second crossing up to Edwardsville Hill. Below us here is the east entrance to the Portal Tunnel, and we've got a helper to get us up the grade here. The switcher will drop off up at the top of the hill here once we get through the tunnel. Switcher is used to help us get through the tunnel so we don't burn up the crew. And we're at Georgetown, Indiana, with the sweeping curve coming into town on the east side. Off to your right, the cars that are chasing the train on State Road 64, Indiana State Road. Every vestibule is occupied. Watching the train as we go west, there's the open coach coming up on you. We're approaching a nice sweeping curve here. Crandall, Indiana. Headed through town. Headed west. Here we're on the high fill outside Milltown, Indiana, making track speed. This is a favorite place for the photographers to take pictures of the trains on the Southern on this nice sweeping high fill. There's the open observation leaving town. Double track. We're meeting another Southern freight. This is an extra unscheduled freight. Notice the white flags on the diesel locomotive signifying this is an extra. There's people hanging out the open observation on the rear of the train. We're on our return trip now. This is again on this high fill. Like I said, it's a favorite spot and a good spot. It's wide open and a nice sweeping curve with the hills of southern Indiana in the background. Approaching the curve at a reduced speed here. We're approaching the curve here at Milltown. As stated before, this is a favorite area for the photographers who like to photograph the railroad. Seems to be a reduced speed here as we're coming into the curve. Zoom in here for a real close shot of the steam engine as it approaches and runs this curve. There's other photographers here along this line with us today, so everybody's getting a good shot. The steam engine's really putting out a good cloud of smoke. This sweeping curve makes just for a beautiful shot, and with the background of the hills of southern Indiana, you couldn't want anything any better. And the way the day has turned out is bright and clear. A photographer's paradise. And at this speed, you get a good shot this way of the whole train. This is the east portal of the DePaul Tunnel at DePaul, Indiana. 4501 is just exiting. And it's headed out onto the curve that curves into the tunnel at the east portal. Running at track speed again. High trestle. Still running at track speed. There's the open observation. We're at the west portal of the Duncan Tunnel at Edwardsville, Indiana. A nice deep cut that they had to make to get through the hills. There's State Road 64 to your right, and there's the train chasers again. Train coming. Nice shot of the signals working and the train on this nice curve. Approaching New Albany, Indiana. Approaching the B&O railway station in New Albany. We're on our return trip after today's outing. People are waiting for the train to come in. People in cars were everywhere today. There's the approach to the Kentucky and Indiana Terminal Railway Bridge in Louisville, Kentucky. Now we'll do some street running. That's Vincennes Street in New Albany, Indiana. To your right is the approach to the Kentucky and Indiana Terminal Railway Bridge. Gates are down. There's a control interlocking tower that operates this section of the track. There's the road going onto the K&I Bridge. Steam engine is stopped to let passengers off at the end of the day's trip. Another good trip is under our belt.